The animal kingdom is like nature's ultimate talent show, constantly surprising us. Take octopuses, for example. They use coconut shells as mobile homes. Same. Measuring animal intelligence isn't easy. Scientists are still scratching their heads. But one thing's clear, nature's full of smarty-pants creatures, and we're just here trying to keep up. What is animal intelligence anyway? The concept of intelligence itself is elusive, even when applied to humans. When it comes to animals, it becomes even harder to pin down. Are we measuring their ability to innovate, their aptitude for arithmetic, their skill in remembering where they hid their food? Or perhaps we're gauging their capacity to learn from or even deceive others in their social groups. For instance, crows have been known to use tools like sticks to extract insects from tree bark, demonstrating a remarkable ability to innovate. The diversity of these skills makes it difficult to establish a universal definition for intelligence. Even if scientists agree on what constitutes intelligence, designing experiments to objectively measure it is no easy feat. For instance, many tests use food as a motivator. However, animals' hunger levels can vary significantly, influencing their participation and skewing results. Imagine trying to test someone's problem-solving skills when they're either famished or utterly stuffed, not exactly a level playing field. Furthermore, cultural and environmental factors play a significant role in shaping an animal's responses, adding another layer of complexity. Despite these hurdles, researchers have developed a variety of clever tests to evaluate animal intelligence. Over time, some of these experiments have gained popularity, offering glimpses into the minds of different species. Each test uncovers a unique aspect of animal cognition, broadening our understanding of how intelligence manifests across the animal kingdom. The pointing test, taking the hint. One commonly used method is the pointing test. In this experiment, an animal is trained to expect a treat hidden in a specific spot. After the animal finds the reward, researchers move it to a new location and point toward the new hiding place. If the animal follows the gesture and investigates the new spot, it demonstrates an ability to interpret and act on another creature's cues. This skill suggests some level of understanding about what others might be thinking. This test has been used on various species to assess their capacity to learn new information from others. For instance, dogs are famously adept at following human gestures, often excelling at this test. By contrast, wolves, their wild relatives, tend to struggle, indicating that domestication may have enhanced dogs' social intelligence. It's a simple yet fascinating way to explore whether animals can grasp abstract concepts, like the idea that a human's gesture could indicate a new hiding place for food. The pointing test continues to be a valuable tool in understanding how animals perceive and interact with humans. The mirror test, a reflection of self-awareness. Another popular experiment is the mirror test, designed to assess self-awareness. The premise is straightforward. Researchers place a visible mark on an animal's forehead and then introduce a mirror. If the animal recognizes its reflection as itself, it may try to touch or remove the mark. This behavior is interpreted as evidence of self-awareness and the ability to conceptualize individuality and identity. Interestingly, dogs excel in the pointing test, but struggle with the mirror test. Instead of pondering their reflections, they often bark at or play with what they perceive as another dog. Elephants, on the other hand, have passed the mirror test, using their trunks to touch marks on their foreheads. Does this mean dogs lack self-awareness? Not necessarily. Some scientists argue that these tests might not be fair indicators of intelligence across species. After all, animals that rely more on smell or sound than vision might not find mirrors particularly meaningful. For example, dogs have been shown to use scent-based cues to identify themselves, which may be a more accurate measure of their self-awareness. The limitations of these tests. Both the pointing and mirror tests have their critics. For instance, how relevant is a mirror to animals without hands or fingers? And when tests have small sample sizes, such as a study involving only 11 elephants, it becomes difficult to make broad claims about an entire species' intelligence. These limitations highlight the challenges of designing experiments that are both fair and universally applicable. Recognizing these limitations, researchers have sought more systematic approaches to studying animal cognition. One breakthrough came in 2014, when an international team of scientists decided to focus on a single mental ability: self-control. By narrowing their scope, they aimed to evaluate intelligence more fairly across a wide range of species. This approach sought to level the playing field and produce results that could be compared across diverse animals. Testing self-control, the key to smarts. Self-control might not immediately scream intelligence, but it's an essential trait for decision-making in both humans and animals. The ability to suppress an instinctual urge in favor of a more beneficial outcome is a hallmark of cognitive sophistication. For example, in humans, self-control is linked to better problem-solving and long-term planning skills that are crucial for survival and success. To test self-control, scientists devised two clever experiments. In one, food was initially placed under one box and then moved to another. The challenge was for the animals to resist the impulse to keep searching under the first box and instead look under the second. This test mirrored the pointing test, but eliminated the need for human gestures. In the second experiment, food was placed in the center of a clear plastic tube. To retrieve it, animals had to suppress the urge to reach directly for the food and instead find a way around the tube. Both tasks required animals to override their instincts to achieve a reward. These tests revealed fascinating insights, such as the ability of certain birds, like ravens and parrots, to outperform mammals in self-control tasks, challenging traditional assumptions about intelligence hierarchies. Surprising results. As expected, animals typically thought of as smart performed well in these tests. Primates, for instance, outshone birds, while dogs fell somewhere in the middle. But the study also uncovered some intriguing patterns. For example, even within species, individual differences in performance hinted at the role of personality and experience in shaping cognitive abilities. One surprising finding was that absolute brain size, rather than brain size relative to body size, correlated more closely with success in these tests. This challenged the long-held belief that intelligence is best measured by comparing brain size to body size. Instead, it seems that having a larger brain overall, and presumably more neurons, offers cognitive advantages. This finding aligns with studies on dolphins and whales, whose large brains enable complex social behaviors and problem-solving skills. Among primates, another unexpected result emerged. The researchers found no link between self-control and the complexity of the social groups the species typically lived in. This contradicted the theory that primate intelligence evolved primarily to navigate complex social structures. Instead, the primates with the best self-control were those with the most varied diets. This suggests that their cognitive abilities may have evolved to help them manage diverse food sources, such as remembering the locations and seasons of fruit trees. This insight sheds light on how environmental factors influence the evolution of intelligence. What these findings tell us: while the study provided valuable insights, it's far from the definitive word on animal intelligence. The field remains a patchwork of fascinating but incomplete findings. Still, the research highlights some compelling trends, such as the importance of brain size and dietary diversity in shaping cognitive abilities. These findings challenge traditional narratives and open the door to new questions about the nature of intelligence. Bigger brains might allow animals to develop specialized neural networks, enhancing their capacity for tasks like problem-solving and memory. For instance, corvids, a family of birds that includes crows and ravens, have demonstrated an astonishing ability to plan for the future, rivaling that of some primates. These findings also hint at the evolutionary forces that drive intelligence in different species. For example, intelligence in primates may have evolved not solely for social reasons, but to adapt to environmental challenges, such as fluctuating food availability. And if you enjoyed this exploration of animal intelligence, why not join us on this journey by subscribing to our channel? Hit that like button if you're fascinated by the wonders of the natural world. And share this video with friends who'd love to learn more about the incredible minds of animals. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Which animal's intelligence surprises you the most? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.